Okay guys, so I am moving on from the Ultimate Card Making Compendium for the Time for Tea set, which is very adorable. I just had some issues putting that together. Well, not issues, but basically this die did not cut the teapot, so I had to cut it out by hand and cut the little handle. So it does cut the teapot, but it cuts in a weird way. So anyway, if you're a person who's getting that and would like to see that video, it's already available. Let me clean this off a little bit. I'll clean it off and it's still not cleaned off. But anyway, and yes, this is well loved now. I look at it, it's like totally colored and everything. Okay, so moving on to the decorative outline dies. This is the regular subscription box. I did not see this on Crafters Companion. To be honest, I haven't been shopping on Crafters Companion site, so I don't know if they had it. I know sometimes the last few boxes they had it on Crafters Companion site before HSN even had it to ship out, because I guess they've had some issues getting product in. I don't know. That's why a lot of the auto ships were canceled, but they're not really canceled. That's the thing. So some of the auto ships, it might say it was delayed, and then you might have gotten an email saying it's canceled, but you're still going to get it if you had signed up for it, and that includes some of the Diamond Press items. So I know some of you guys were bummed out and said, oh, now it says it's canceled. But you still might get it. So I know that's weird. I don't know. I don't have much more to say about that because I don't know the particulars, but I did hear that. So just keep an eye out on your auto ships. So this, again, was an auto ship that's kind of been messed with. I don't know what's going on. But this is number 26. And it is the Decorative Outline Dies Craft Kit. And I'm going to jump right in. I hope that this one's a fast one. The last one I thought, oh, this will be quick, and it was like a 40-minute long video, and not that I don't, you know, I love making long videos, that's fine, but for one card, I'm like, that's already too much, you know, for me. But anyhow, Decorative Outline Dies Craft Kit. Over 200 elements. So if you see on the back, it says it has 9 metal dies, card blanks, 24 pieces, obviously 24 envelopes, clear acrylic stamps, 15 pieces, 1 embossing folder. Oh, that's cool. Die cut sentiments, 28, colored card pack, vellum sheets, and gems. That's interesting. Usually because there's pattern paper normally, and it just says vellum sheets, so we will see what this is. I have no idea on this one, because most of the time these are a surprise. So early on, I don't even know if early on, whenever you signed up for it, and people ask us all the time, the sign up is not available right now at HSN. If you can find them piecemeal, like at Crafters Companion site, that's one place. Sometimes you might find them at Tuesday morning, some of the older kits. But you don't really know what you're getting on this one because there's no preview. On the other ones, there are previews, and if you don't remember what they are, like if you sign up for the compendium or anything else, that's anything else auto ship. What I always do, because sometimes HSN will pull it down from their site, is just jump on YouTube and type in whatever it is that you're looking for. Anna Griffin pop-up cards or whatever, because she had some auto ships on that. You know, Crafters Companion card making compendium HSN or something. You can add HSN for the tag, and then, because otherwise it's going to be one of my videos. I was noticing recently, I'm like, type in Anna Griffin review or something like that, and they're like pretty much all mine. Crafters Companion, all these different things. I'm like, oh, okay. But then you can watch the original presentation and you'll see the previews, and they usually have a preview of what's going to come up next. And then you can go into your auto ship manager on HSN site, HSN, you know, wherever you order, hsn.com, log in and go into your account and auto ship manager, and then you can set up to skip or leave altogether, right? So you can cancel. But if you just want to skip certain ones after you saw the video and you're like, oh, you know, I don't really like the one for May, or the one for September is not my thing, you can skip it ahead of time. And then since you skipped it ahead of time, you can also unskip it if you change your mind. So I always kind of look at it that way and go ahead and set that up so I'm not worried about it, you know. I hardly ever skip, but sometimes I do. All right, this has half gems, and I like that they already have the glue on the back of them. I did use some gems the other day in one of the Christmas compendium cards, and I like them. They were nice, so something I hardly ever reach for, but maybe I should do that more often. So here they are. A 2D embossing folder that's really cute. I like the way it has that little opening there. So obviously it's not a cut and emboss, so it's just something that's going to have that oval emboss there. Ooh. So on the outside of the box on the last video, I'm like, oh, it looks like there's a butterfly, but there's a dragonfly. I love that. There's leaves that aren't, obviously you're going to pop those out. It looks like it cuts 2 leaves at once. They're not connected. It's just an easier way, I guess, to cut out a couple leaves without these little tiny, tiny dies. You always know I love a little sprig. A little bee. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay, so then the flowers. I already like this better than what I saw in my other box. The other box is cute. It's adorable. It's amazing. I just, was really turned off by that die not quite doing what I thought it was going to do. This is one big solid die. I mean, I can feel it's hefty and good here. For the outline, very interesting. Again, I never really know what to do with these kind of dies, so we'll see what happens today. And then we have this stamp set, and it's got the butterflies. You have that pretty dragonfly, which I would like to use. The little bee. Thank you, thinking of you. Really kind of stylized little writing, happy birthday, congratulations, all kinds of everyday sentiments. I was like, what is this? A W? It's especially for you. It's going up the other way. Lots of card blanks. So in that last video, I think, yes, what is this size of card? Let me see what's going on here. Because in the card making video for the Christmas compendium, I set up my little A2 size card base, you know, card front. I was gonna stick it on a card base. I go to get the card base, and it's like this weird size. And this is again that weird size. It's 6 by 4 inches. So it's not gonna fit in an A2 size envelope. It'll fit in your 5 by 7 envelope, but it's gonna have a lot of room. Or you use your envelope maker and make your own envelope. But this one comes with envelopes, which is nice. I suppose the other one did too. Now that I think about it, you don't have to make your own envelopes. But if you, this is odd. This is odd. I don't know why they're going with that size. The other one looks like a square, and then maybe a 5 by 7, I hope. Who knows? All right. And then we have these little guys. I've used these once before, and I kind of glued them together, so it was kind of more dimensional in one of the more previous, most recent, should I say, videos. Yeah, so it's vellum, but it's just colored vellum. So there's no printed papers in this one. Or are no, I don't even know, maybe I'm saying that wrong. Interesting, is this one, there's one sheet of each of lots of different colors. Interesting, so as you can see that array of colors there, and there's one sheet of each. Okay. So again, I've been falling way behind. So with these guys, what you can do is go to crafterscompanionbox.com, and there should be videos associated with these boxes, like instructional videos, of course. Sarah used to always do them, and then Craig started doing it. I love Craig, but I love Sarah's videos, so I'm like, get Sarah on there. But, you know, I like to hear Sarah. Craig's a funny guy too, and I like him. No dig, I just prefer Sarah, okay guys? Here we go. Oh, I saw a picture the other day of like Debbie, and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen her in a while. I know she came back and did a couple of Crafters TV videos, but Debbie's I love her too. All right, so here we have all these different colors. Really nice, bright colors. Really fun. I don't know what they have to do with that vellum. Some of them are similar, I suppose. But a very interesting color palette. So, what I'm going to do is... again, this one doesn't come with any kind of other... It's what it is. I'm going to use that card base because apparently they want us to use a 4 by 6... A 4 by 6, I can't even speak. A 4 by 6 card base. If this is vellum, I'm not going to do that. There's no way I'm going to do paper piecing with that. That's really... Wow. Let me give it some thought, and we will get to work. Okay, I have an idea. It might be a little belabored, but I think this is going to work. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Okay, so we have our 4 by 6 card base. I'll put it to the side. We have this guy. This is a really kind of interesting color. It's kind of like a coral more than it is a red, even though I would like it to be more coral. So I'm going to use this. And what I'm going to do is cut this down for the card front. And bear with me here. I hope this works. Okay, because I have no idea what this die is going to do, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to do the outline. So we have 4 by 6. I want this to be the outer. I'm going to keep this really like 3 7/8. Just the smallest mat, right? 3 7/8 by 5 7/8. Ooh. Always hold this down because your paper can shift and then it will be no good. Okay, so that's going to be matted right on top of my card base here. And then, but we're going to cut something out of that, so don't worry. Or I guess you probably have no idea. Well, unless you saw the picture, then you'll have an idea of what I'm trying to do. We're going to do like a stained glass look, but I'm going to get rid of that center part of that pink, so just a second. And then I just need this to be big enough to cut this out, so I'm just going to trim this down so I can get it through my marquee. But you know how I always eyeball things and I'm like super close? I don't want to do that. So I don't need about that much. I don't know. Sounds good. This is, oh, you know, while I have this out, I'm also going to take a piece of acetate. And this is what we're going to make our stained glass with. But my issue was like, how are you going to do the acetate and then fussy cut around this? Or how are you going to hide it? And I'm going to show you in just a minute how we're going to do that. So this piece basically needs to be kind of like the pink piece, but just like, it doesn't matter, like 3 3/4, right? As long as it fits behind your area here. And it's already at 5 3/4. Hopefully that's going to be big enough. Let me see. Ooh, that just does it. Okay, so I don't have to cut this down anymore. But I would say 3 3/4 by like 6 is probably better. So you don't have to be afraid. Okay, so that's enough of that. I'm going to take this. And I hope this works. In my mind, I think it's going to work. We will see. I don't know if I'm going to use that dragonfly because he really has nothing to do with anything, but we'll see. So I'm going to bring this. And I want to see, does this even fit in here? Oh, it does. Okay, good. I wasn't sure if it was going to fit completely. It is a big guy, so I need to get it going. There we go. There we go. So I'm just using an old cutting folder for this. But for the next one, I'm going to use a nicer one, a newer one, because, oh, all kinds of things fell out because this thing is, you know, just a bunch of pieces like, boom, fell. All right, let me try to get this thing dislodged here. Oh, goodness. This is one that maybe you want to rub with a dryer sheet like that tip that Lisa gives because it really wants to stick. Okay, so pretty much everything popped out. There's some that I just want to hold on there a little bit for some reason. Oh my goodness. That is super delicate. Okay, so my idea is we're going to put this on top of this and we're going to use alcohol ink markers to color this in. I know. It's going to be quite a bit of work, but to me, easier than paper piecing. But I will show you what I mean by that in just a minute. Now you see all this extra, and in my mind, I'm like, how am I going to... I don't want this showing, and I don't want to go around and fussy cut that because that's going to be a real pain. So, this is our card front. We're going to cut this out one more time. I do not want the frame. I don't care about this outline. What I want it to do is cut this away, and we're going to use the negative. Basically like this. Right? What's left over, we're going to pop that back in, and that's going to give us a cute outline. Hope that makes sense. So this one, I do want it to be centered, and I do want it to be nice, because this is going to be basically the card itself. Now you can tape that down, or just move on like I'm doing. So, but if you want to tape it down, just so you know you have it centered nicely and it's not going to move, that'll probably be better to do. And again, this is a newer folder. So just because I don't want it to crease my paper. I didn't really crease the other one, I guess. Look. But it gets a little bit of wrinkles. I don't know if you can see the little wrinkles. And so I rather use a new folder whenever I do something large like a background or something like that. You want to get a new folder going so that the paper stays nice and flat. I think this is a very, very good idea, you guys. Hopefully you try it, because otherwise I would never... Look at all those little pieces. How are you going to paper piece this? You know what? You have to be very patient. That's all it is. And I know people say they use, what is it? Not press and seal. Something that sticks to it, but so that when you remove it... Is it press and seal? Then you can use it somewhere else, you know, a little die. It's very cute. Always scrape that out. Clean that out. I'm going to get rid of all these little pieces, but basically, hopefully you guys are getting the idea. I'm going to pop this back in on top so that no one sees the edge of the acetate. And then this is going to be all colored in by hand, okay? So I will be right back. My colors, what I'm going to do is stick this down to my acetate, okay? And I'm just eyeballing this. If there's any extra acetate that sticks out past this pink, I'll just cut it down. I'm not going to try to do some math right now. So we want this really stuck down. Again, you can just go around the whole back of it like I do. Sometimes it's like a little dropper, or however, put it through your Xyron, which for something like this is kind of a nightmare because they're so small, the little pieces. So I'm just going to put tacky glue on the back of my hand, and I'm going to put this as much as I can. All right, get as much as I can. It's going to dry clear anyway. I try to be careful, but it doesn't always happen. So I'm just going to pat, 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 pat all through my hand here. Really getting those edges, but you obviously want the whole thing to stick down. You don't want things popping up. Okay. And here's my acetate. I know it's hard to see, sorry. But I'll still try to center it so I don't have to do any cutting. But if it is overlap, or like, you know, if the acetate ends up sticking out of the side, I'll just trim it off. Not too difficult to do. And whenever I have something like this, I know you're like, ew, what is that? It's a little towel I got from Daiso that I've been using to wipe things off with, right, as you can see. And this side does not have a lot of like fluff. Some people like to use a paper towel to do this. Do that too. Whatever it is you want to use. I'm just trying to do this without getting glue all over my hand and sopping up the extra glue, right? And there's my little guy. All right. So I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit because we are gonna mess with it. I'm gonna turn it over and basically just color on the back. Okay guys, so I'm not gonna record all of this because this is gonna be a lot of work, but I'm gonna turn this over. Oops, sorry. I was gonna bring this down and then instead I bumped it. I just grabbed a bunch of tri-blends. I'm not thinking about color scheme. I just was like some yellow. Oh, I see, I thought this was yellow. It's kind of yellow-green. I might switch that out for a yellow one. I saw this side of it and I'm like, oh yeah, yellow, but now this is yellow-green. Alpine green blend, orange, dark red, whatever alcoholic markers you have. Bic, it doesn't matter, right? Anything, it'll be good. Oh darn, well, okay, it's fine. I need the yellow. Let me grab a yellow real quick. I see one. Somebody had asked me about the Spectrum Noir coloring carry case. I love it. I don't think I did a review, and I might have shown when it came in, but it's really great. So I do like that. I just have it sitting there. It's underneath a bunch of stuff, so I never bring it out, but I can open the flap and I can see all the colors. And so let's say we want yellow, and I know it's hard to see, but you can kind of see the difference there, right? So I'm going to color all these ones that kind of look similar with the same middle, and those are going to have a yellow center. If you want to be extra and try to do color blending, go ahead. But what happens is with this kind of thing, it just kind of wipes away because it's so slick, you know? So when you come in with a different color, it's just going to wipe away the other one. I'm trying to stay within the black lines, but you don't, you know, try to be as neat about it as you can. But hopefully you can see on this side, the little yellow is showing through, right? And it's not going to be like, well, it depends on the colors you're using. That yellow is very light. So let's go with like, this is a dark red blend. Let me go with the lightest color. And let's say I'm going to start here. So I'm just staying within the black lines. I colored right over that black line because I can. Again, this is the light red. And if you want to make it streaky so it has texture, then make it streaky. If you want it to blend a little better, try to do circles. Because again, this is very slick. This is a little better acetate though. This acetate is from Crafter's Companion. It has a little bit of tooth to it. A little bit. So, oh my gosh. So it kind of holds on to the color a little better, but hopefully you can kind of see what's going on there. And that's just the light red. What I'm trying to say is if you come in with like, let's say the darker side, oopsie. My goodness, you guys. It might just take away the light red and it doesn't really blend. It just looks like you just threw down some red, you know? So, I mean, you can try. I'll just do it for this one. And since I did it for this one, I'm gonna have to do it for all of them or else it's gonna look weird, right? But let me kind of show you a little bit what I mean. You see that? It didn't really blend. It just sits there. So I might have to go back through with my light red and take it out. But it'll look really nice when we're done because it's just the light. It did, you know, when I blended it out, it did make it more red. I guess that's one thing. You can see that? It's a little brighter. A little more obvious. So, you know, do your blends of colors, I guess. So I'm going to go through and just, you know, wherever I have 2 shades of green, because I thought it might be fun to do 2 different greens. Ooh, this was kind of open. Ooh, okay, it didn't dry out. It was open. So, like, I'll come in here and maybe these green guys, I'll just make it easy on yourself. Like, you don't have to, this is really cute. So I'm just doing all these, like, if I'm using the color green, I'm going to bring it through everybody. I did bring myself 2 colors of green, though, just for funsies. So I have this other one. This is jade green. Let me see what jade green looks like. This one's kind of boring. Maybe I'll make one of the flowers this color because the jade is pretty. You know, I'll do the orange center there and try to just do whatever you want to do. Just stay within the little black lines, and when I come back, it'll all be kind of done. And if you want to be a little bit extra, since we do have like different shades here, what I think I'm going to do is start with like the dark of this red. And just color down here. And when I mean stay inside the lines, what I mean is like on the outer edges, because on the inside you can do whatever you want. Like right here. Well, it's hard to tell. Let me get in frame a little better. I'm just coloring right over the whole thing. It doesn't matter because on the other side the black lines will help you out. So let's just... But on the outer edges, obviously you don't want to go outside because then it'll be more noticeable. So let's do that dark and then the mid red. They should be different shades, but you know, who knows what it'll look like in the end here. So it can be a little bit messy. Actually, I'll go one more. And then the lightest red. This might look super streaky because it's laying down streaky. Alright, I'm going to give that a second to dry. Obviously it dries pretty quickly. It's an alcoholic marker. And the big reveal, look at pretty. Oh my goodness, lots of red on this one. Again, a very streaky pot there. I'm going to give this a second to dry and then we're going to mount it up. Okay, well I hope it's nice and dry. What I'm going to do is put this on first. So I'm going to put this to the side here. I'm going to put some glue on this. I'm going to use this one because the other one, the tacky glue, sometimes will make it warp. I don't want this to warp. But let's grab this. This actually did not take that long. Maybe I'm just comparing it to the video from earlier because it's still in my mind, but it did not take too long. I'll move this to the side. Oh, look at that. It was going to be backwards anyway, so good thing I picked that up. Let's put this down. I was like, where's the right side? Okay, obviously the side with the frame there is the right side. And I'm just trying to eyeball this and see where this needs to go. So right in here, down here. And I'm just gonna work this into place, okay guys? It might take me a second, I can see. Pulling up, pushing down. So I think what happens is whenever you cut this, something like this out, it cuts differently than like maybe the one before, and the way it was stretched or however. So I'm just gonna keep coercing this thing until I feel like it's popped in there right. Okay, I'm just again holding it down just so it glues nicely. Okay, so if I was to back up, I might have added this pink as soon as I did the black, because then we could have manipulated a little bit more. I think what happens, like I said, when you put the glue, it kind of stretches. It's kind of a little bit different than the other one, but you know, you can manipulate it pretty good. Like on this very top black circle here, or this little flower, I couldn't quite get it because I couldn't stretch it anymore. So, and then like I told you, I was going to cut this excess off. So I'm going to cut this excess off right here. And if it's off a little bit, and it's going to bother you because some of the white's going to show through, you can just take a black pen, your Spectrum Noir, your alcohol ink marker, whatever it is that you use, and just get rid of that. Decutting some paper, I didn't want to, but there we go. Bring our card base back, that's facing the right way, and I'm just going to glue this down. Super cute. So this was funny. You guys saw me cut this. I cut it with very little left, but again, that guillotine is never quite accurate. I've never used that guillotine where it's like right on. So you guys saw that I cut it down a little bit smaller, and look at this. It's almost the same size. So I am going to use a wet adhesive because of the stickiness or like the slick nature of the back of this acetate, but I have used tape runners and it's not really a problem. Just going around the edge. Wherever I can get into that edge, I will put plenty. I'm not sticking down that center. Now, if you know that you're going to put something else on top, like say on top of this I was going to put like a butterfly or whatever, you can put glue in that area because that'll just help it reinforce it, you know. I think this is really pretty. I think that's plenty, and you could definitely have made this into a shaker card, you guys. All you have to do is just put your foam, and then same thing we just did, but just put foam and you put your little glitter. Okay, I'm gonna hold this down so it gets a nice adherence here, and then I'm gonna look at that what's that thing called? the Firefly and see what's up with that. Putting weight on here to keep this down, but again, it's just stamping this, and then you have the die. I think it would be very cute if you stamped this with like some StazOn on some acetate, and then did the same kind of coloring, you know, on the back side of it, just so it looks like stained glass again, and then just cut it out. I'm not going to do anything more because it's basically the same thing. Same thing with the butterfly. Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think that'd be very pretty. But, oh, you can even do a solid one and then like an acetate one over on top of that and have like different layers and just make it extra. And then of course we have all the different sentiments. And normally with those things, I either cut them out from a tag or I stamp it and just cut it out by hand. So that's, you know, what I would do with that. But for now, let's just look at our handiwork. I think we already had the reveal earlier, but, really pretty. I think it didn't take that long because you're not really color blending. You're just throwing down the color just to have some color on here, and it's trapped in the back so nothing's going to happen to it. And there it is. So again, my little tip would be maybe before doing the acetate, you know, work this a little bit, but you can't really even tell. I mean, if you really look close, I guess that you know, some of it's a little bit off. But thanks for watching, guys. Nice quick one. I really like this box, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye now.